Yo guys, what's up? MapCRimSoN here, got here a battle for you guys. This battle is versus Youngst3rJoey. We were on Skype and we felt like having an OU battle, so here's that. Now, here, this is obviously it's standard OU. We both are running sand teams, as you can clearly see. Now, seeing his team, I'm thinking he'll either lead off with you know, his T-Tar, his Landorus. Actually, he could really lead off with anything. But, you know, I thought I could lead off with my Landorus, and really anything he leads off with would be okay. I was thinking he'll probably lead off with Rotom Wash, and if he does that, I will, you know, if I lead off with Landorus, I'll just switch into something to take a Hydro Pump, a Trick, or whatever, which would be my own Rotom Wash. And, you know, all that. But, you know, if he leads off with his T-Tar, or... you know, I don't really think he'll lead off with anything else other than that, or his own Landorus. You know, I could just, you know, attack it or something. But anyways, so I lead off with my big Landorus, but he leads off with his T-Tar, which is good, you know. I mean, that's probably the best lead, you know, lead choice for, that's an advantage for me, I guess, whatever. Anyways, so I go for that big substitute. I mean, he does show up. I cannot speak. He ends up going for Ice Beam. Now, with Ice Beam, I know that he'll obviously kill me, duh. But after thinking for, you know, a couple of seconds, I was thinking he's probably not going to go for Ice Beam again. And lo and behold, he goes for Pursuit. So, knowing that I do have a free sub, I can probably take him out with an Earthquake or do a fuck ton of damage either way. I go for Earthquake, and he goes into his Hitmontop. Now, I don't know why he went into Hitmontop. I was thinking he'll probably go into Rotom, which would be probably the most logical thing he would go into, but I don't know what he was thinking. So, you know, his Hitmontop pretty much dies in 2 hits. So, yeah, did a Hitmontop is dead, and get that big threat out of here. So, you know, it's, you know, turn 2, it's 6-5, or turn 3, turn 4, whatever, you get the point. And, you know, whatever. So he goes into Gengar. Gengar, he double switches into his own Landorus as I go into my Rotom Wash. And, you know, that's pretty much that. Now, Landorus really can't touch Rotom that much, especially if he's a Scarfed one, which I am going to think he is a Scarfed one because there's nothing else really much on his team that would be Scarfed other than his own Rotom Wash. So I just go for the Will-O-Wisp, thinking, you know, I could burn really anything on his team and it'd be okay. He ends up going to Tyranitar, and, you know, that's a pretty good burn. You know, I can't Pursuit my shit anymore. I mean, he does have Ice Beam, but that's really all I see. So I know that he can't really do much to my Rotom as far as I know. So I just stay and go for Hydro Pump, do a decent chunk to that T-Tar, and he ends up just going for Stealth Rocks, which is fine. You know, I don't really have anything weak to rocks. Actually, I don't. Yeah, I don't. And, whatever. So, thinking, you know, he really can't do anything to me, and also thinking he might want to save his T-Tar, I do go for the Will-O-Wisp, predicting him to switch into whatever, and he ends up going into Rotom Wash, so, you know, I do burn that Rotom Wash, and Rotom Wash is burned, so, yeah, that's all good. Now, I really don't know what he's going to do here. Actually, I don't even know if he's Scarfed or not. Was he Scarfed? I have to check. No, I don't see an item, so I think I just stay in and go for another Hydro Pump. He ends up going for Volt Switch, goes into his Tyranitar, and yeah, I think I just kill it off with another Hydro Pump. So, you know, that's all good, and yeah, so dead T-Tar is dead, and that is all fun. Yes. So, I'm looking pretty good. It's actually 6-4 in my favor, and he goes into Gengar. Now, I have a Chople Berry T-Tar. I'm pretty sure he's not going to go for Focus Blast first turn, because, you know, if he misses, you know, that just turns into a 6-3. So he does go for Shadow Ball. Luckily, he doesn't go for the Focus Blast. I do have a Chople Berry, so I know I can live at least 1. And I'm hoping he goes for it right here, or he switches, which is what he does, and Pursuit takes out the Gengar. So, good game, Gengar, and Gengar dies, which is pretty nice. So, whatever. So now he goes into Sharpedo. Sharpedo goes for the Waterfall. I was fairly certain I'd live a Waterfall, especially since he doesn't have Life Orb, as he, you know, chose later. But he gets a crit, and yeah, sucks. And, you know, as you can see, he has Lefties, not Life Orb. So I definitely would have lived that. But yeah, whatever. So I go into Pinch Your Tit because Scizor can easily live a Crunch, a Waterfall, or an Earthquake, or anything really a Sharpedo can use. and kill it off with a U-turn, or he, you know, switches and I get switch advantage, but he decides just to stay in and waterfall. I really don't know what you're doing, Joey. What are you doing? But whatever. Sharpedo dies to a U-turn, and yeah, that's that. So now I go into Big Bitch, which is my Magazone. Now I know Magazone isn't going to be really that useful. I think all he has left right now is a Landorus and a Rotom, so I really don't care about this. I can pretty much just use this Death Fodder just to see what he locks himself into, which he goes for Earthquake, which is all nice. Now, I go into Rotom. Again, I'm technically not sure if he's Scarfed or not. I'm assuming he is, but so could his Rotom Wash, because I don't see an item on that either. So I just go for Hydro Pump. I know it can hit both, but, you know, I don't want to Volt Switch on a, you know, Landorus as he, like, Smackdown, so that would suck. So I just go for Hydro Pump, and, you know, Rotom gets hit. Now, I know he's probably going to go for the Hydro Pump over and over again, and I need my Rotom for his Landorus, because his Landorus can't, you know, really hurt a Rotom at all. So I just go into my own Landorus thinking that he is Scarfed and whatever, and just Death Fodder pretty much. Now, I was thinking at this range, you know, that's just really low. That's like under 10%, or maybe 10%, that a Bullet Punch from a Banded Scizor would actually kill a Rotom. But it doesn't. He lives with like 2 HP, he said, I think. But he misses a Hydro Pump. Now, Hydro Pump mattered. That sucks. But we end up agreeing that it wouldn't have mattered because I have a Terrakion and a Rotom left, and if he went for Earthquake, Rotom would, you know, Rotom obviously wouldn't get hit. And he did say he had Hammer Arm, but Hammer Arm will obviously not kill a Terrakion. Actually, as you'll see here, he actually crits with a Stone Edge. And if a crit Stone Edge didn't take out Terrakion, a Hammer Arm wouldn't either. Actually, that makes no sense. But whatever, we calced it. Hammer Arm wouldn't have killed. So that was a good game, Joey. I think it was 2-0. Pretty nice match. He actually made a new channel, like his third one, so why don't you guys go check that out. And that is the game. Hope you guys enjoyed. Comment, subscribe, guys, and I'll see you.